Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Fate of Aeothar. This is the beginning of our second season. Previously, the group traveled to the city closest to their new keep, Toshore, to pick up supplies and traveled via Moss back to Kabas. When they arrived at the once vibrant and bustling port city, they realized the utter destruction that has hit this place, and the contrast between then and its current state. It is in a state of lockdown, with only a few essential shops open, like the blacksmith and general store. They caught the second cheapest ship to the port of Wintervale, and you are on the third and final day of your journey. What are you guys doing?
Um, I'm just doing a bit of reading still on
Okay.
Book Cobb and his holy ways.
Yeah, and we'll say that it's morning time on the
Oh,
third
um,
final day of the journey.
Okay, so Talia goes to wherever Moss is, and Moss, where are you?
In his room. You haven't seen him the entire time.
Okay. So Talia goes to Moss and knocks on the door. Polite as she is.
Okay.
He opens it.
She's like, "Hello, I hope I'm not bothering you or anything."
Shakes his head no.
When we were talking at the campfire a few days ago, you said you could help me find my girlfriend.
Moss nods and opens the door.
Talia comes in. I see that as.
Okay.
Yeah.
There she comes.
Moss goes, pulls out a chair and then sits on his bed and gestures for the chair.
She sits down on the chair.
Double
Okay.
checking. You're asking this on the last day. Alright. Didn't mention. Yes, okay. Yep. So sorry, I was just making sure I actually did have it prepared. So Moss goes and sits. He goes, in order for this to function properly, I need to be familiar with the person. Could you describe what they look like, or draw, or kind of
Oh,
cocks his head to the side, change?
Oh, I can't do that. I think. Wait, let me check if I have this guy's self. I don't.
Or any illusion?
I don't have any illusion spells. Sadly. Okay, she goes. She tries not to be like, oh, she's so beautiful, because it's not like a description that Moss that probably can help Moss.
Well, no,
She's
just describe them. Do it how you would. Don't say how you do it. Do it.
Okay. Okay. So she is taller than me, a lot taller than me. About like a head taller than me, and she has this gorgeous wine red hair that is short and like pixie cut, and she has an a scar on her left eye from an owl attack, because we're messing around with owls once and she got attacked there. And she's mostly, I've only seen her in her armor or uniform, and she has these very gorgeous deep blue eyes, and she's it's like kind of flapping her hands a bit because she's so,
Yeah.
so excited.
Moss is nodding along. You see his eyes
Um,
whirring and focusing every couple times. Like,
And
would you happen
she-
to have anything of hers? Or a piece of her? Some hair?
A finger.
I don't. We're having a moment here. She's you see on the picture in the in Roll20 that Talia has this blue scarf, and she takes it off and it's like, this is hers actually.
So Moss takes that and then thinking that, picturing the description. I think this may work. And you see him
very happy.
kneel down and start just kind of wordlessly going out and drawing lines. Now, Mike, this is one of the ones that we talked about, that it says it's worth a lot of money, but it's also scrying, and it's the same amount of money as bringing someone back from the dead.
Uh-huh.
So how do you wanna change that money component, or how do you want to handle that? As we talked about before, just saying fuck that because it's scrying, and scrying shouldn't cost the same as bringing someone back from the dead. But also just you're quoted on what you want to do for that, for scry. This just sets everything up for the future.
Right. I believe I answered that.
Yeah, before you said it was like, yeah, that makes sense for it not to be 1,000. But you didn't like if it was gone or if it's cheaper.
Yeah, we'll say like 300 gold.
300. So
Yeah.
yeah, Moss then looks at that and then checks his inventory. Damn it, I have too many character sheets. So he looks up and then he says, takes a scarf, starts drawing out everything, and then stops and looks up. It's like, I also need some currency. These spells can be quite costly.
She nods and like, hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Question. How much is 10 platinum in gold?
100.
Yeah, I
100?
believe it's... Yeah,
It's 10 to 1
100.
for everything.
Yeah.
So she gives him those and 200 yeah, 200 gold. So I'm not at 9 gold.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, cool.
So she gives him
300.
the money.
Beautiful. Takes it and then he like
Walks
see
away.
him like take it into his hands and then like just cover it in plant matter and place it in the center, and then take the scarf and wrap it around that ball, and then use that as the center and start drawing out all the lines and the moss that he leaves behind with all the flakes and colored petals on it, and then stops and focuses in, and after 10 minutes casts the spell Scrying on the person that was described along with their garment. So it's a wisdom save on their part. I've heard of them, so they get +5, but I also have a garment, so it's -4, so they get a flat +1 to their roll as well as their wisdom save.
10.
10. Okay, so yeah, it goes. I see what they're doing at this moment.
Okay. So currently what you see is the person Talia described to you. They are in a dark stone room at a long table. And there are roughly 6 people seated around the table.
I will say I can only see within 10 feet.
Okay, so
If
then
you
you would...
want, if you want me to be able to see more, I'm not gonna be mad about it.
No, so...
Per the spell, I can only see within a 10-foot range all the way around.
Right, okay, so I would say that you see like maybe 3 or 4.
And then just the table
within
keeps
that
going.
range. Yeah, and the table, it doesn't seem like there's an end to it. There is no food on the table. There are what looks like papers and maps of different types.
They're playing humans and taxes.
You see her speaking to one of the figures who hands her a scroll, and she opens it up and reads it.
What does she read? Or just reads it herself?
She reads it herself. Would you be able to see things like that though, from that perspective, like things
Yeah,
she's holding if she was like
it's there. Let's
reading
see
a book?
So it says you can see and hear a particular creature. You choose that is on the same plane of existence as you. Target must Mr. William saving so modify blah blah blah. On a successful save, the target isn't affected. Whatever. On a failed save, the spell creates an invisible sensor within 10 feet of the target. You can see and hear through the sensor as if you were there. The sensor moves with the target, remaining within 10 feet of it for the duration. A creature that can see invisible objects, a sensor luminous orb of this size, about your fist. And so I just see whatever's going on, and I guess I can move anywhere I want. So yeah, I'd position the sensor like over her shoulder so I could read it.
Okay. So the person who's speaking to her is adorned in very elaborate dark blood red robes with a hood pulled up over their head. And you hear him tell her, our other hunters have failed to bring this bounty in. but I believe maybe you would have more success. And as he says that, he hands her the scroll, and she opens it up, and it is a complete rendition of the people you are traveling with.
Myself included?
No, not you.
Okay. So it's just like wanted posters, the whole fucking party.
Yeah, only
Okay.
the others.
And
And
Moss, the entire time he's seeing this, his eyes are just like... So while he's casting, all of his eyes were whirring very quickly and adjusting. And the second the spell went off, all of his eyes are just wide. And he's just sitting there, not moving, not saying anything for this whole thing.
okay.
So sees that. She's given a bounty.
And you can see that around her neck is a gold necklace with a golden hydra's head on it.
Golden Hydra.
Holy fucking shit.
A lot of shit going on right now.
Do this to me.
Yeah,
Why you do
I
this to me?
cannot type fast enough for all this, man. Oh god.
Oh my god.
So hold on, let me quick recap there for everything I just saw, because that's a lot of shit. See, big table. Person that's talking is out of my sight line, right?
Mike.
Yeah, sorry. They're just out of your sight. You can make out like their basic figure, but not their face, which is also obscured by a hood, and the edges kind of start to get a bit cloudy. The further the more you can see of his figure, it's only like half within your sight.
Can I see any of the people that are closer? Can I get see if I can make out any details on their faces?
Yes. One of them looks like a like a humanoid looking
Anthropomorphic.
Yes, anthropomorphic hippopotamus wearing a
Wow. Okay.
blue and white tail-coated suit, almost like early revolutionary style military uniform, and he is holding a long musket, or not holding it, but it's like propped up on the table next to him. And you also see a figure in a black hooded cloak with like 4 or 5 daggers on the front of their clothing, and like a bandolier style knife holder.
Can I make out race, any details about who they are?
You notice
can
they
come up
have like a
reposition.
darker, almost purplish tint to their skin.
Ears. What do the ears look like?
It is concealed by a cloak.
Ah, fucker. Those are the only 2 guys I can see, or people, I guess.
Sorry, yeah. Those are the only 2 that you can make out.
Alright, and you said, sorry, quick rewind for a second. On that bounty, there's, on the paper, there's a golden Hydra head.
No. There is, on the person you were scrying on, Ezia, there is a golden Hydra necklace.
Oh,
A
okay.
gold chain with like a Hydra's head pendant on it.
That is not good.
The parchment itself is simply just a sketched drawing of Hadrada, Talia, Durgat, and Tony. And there's a
There's one.
reward
Do I
on
see
it.
oh?
It is a bounty for 50,000 gold.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Moss can be rich if he turns us out.
Don't give him any ideas.
I love you.
Alright, so I got 10 minutes of that. Does the person reading have any reaction to
You see a single tear roll down the cheek
No.
and land onto the parchment. And then it's rolled up and put in their belt.
and accepts the bounty?
It's illegal.
You don't know none
This
of
is
this.
illegal.
You don't know none of this.
I know that I'm saying it's out of character. This is illegal.
You are legal.
And yeah,
Anything
that's
else?
about.
They go through those, and they leave? I got 10 minutes. Does that whole encounter take 10 minutes?
I mean, I would say that like as it ends, they're still sitting at the table. The cloaked figure is talking to the other hooded figure now and handing out like a different, like 2 or 3 different pieces of parchment, and she kind of taps on one and points at it and rolls it up and puts it in her belt, and then you see her or them leave.
The hooded one also received a bounty.
Ezia, you see, does get up and begin to walk out. There is a singular large wooden door at the end of this like vast hall.
They any markings, any labels like ye old this town here. This is where you are. Please help. And anything like I'm playing GeoGuessr in this motherfucker's house. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Anything that can give me a read on where this is. What's like.
Well, you see that she is walking on a very grand looking like red carpet that goes out towards the door.
Okay.
And there are banners hanging on the walls. Like as she walks by, there's like periodic banners as she walks by, all sporting the same golden Hydra head symbol. And then as she like exits out through the door, you see like bright light and what looks like rain, and then that's where the vision ends.
Bright light.
It's like
rain.
like sunlight rain, essentially. You know how that happens sometimes.
Yeah, so Moss kind of, all of his eyes just kind of zoom back in all of a sudden and go back to their normal adjusting and looks up. Goes,
So?
That wasn't very good.
What do you mean? She okay?
And you see all of his eyes are wearing. She is okay. You all may not be.
Oh, why? Where's that?
Also, all of his eyes are wearing. Let's gather the others. Yes, gather the others. And stands up and walks over to the door. Opens it, goes out, starts banging on people's doors.
It's like cabinet meeting.
Okay, hello.
Keeps walking. Walks back down the hall.
She's like
Walks back down the hall.
following him. Like,
What is it?
What'd you
I open the
see?
door. Huh?
You alright?
Moss
She's
just
like,
comes
"Tell
and
you-
gestures in to his room.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, at this point, it is still early morning.
Yep. Waking everyone's lazy asses up.
Tony's up bright and early.
Yep.
Hard drive.
You just walk out the hall and he's standing in the hallway, gesturing into his room. He's looking like the airline people trying to like, guide the planes.
This way, please.
Remember the small whistle on your jacket.
I spit out my fucking drink. Oh.
So everybody waking up and getting ready and stuff and coming up to the top deck of the ship. You see that previously when you were near...
We're going to Moss's room for the meeting.
Yeah, we're not going up deck yet. I'm gathering everybody else.
Gotcha, okay.
I'm trying to get everyone into my room, so I gather everyone into my room.
I follow.
We're all probably fairly cramped in there.
When you enter Moss's room, you can like see Talia nervously pacing around. Like, this is the most nervous you've seen Talia since you've met her.
So, what's the news?
Yeah, what's going on?
So,
What's wrong?
this morning, Talia requested I look into their former mate. Upon this viewing, they were given a bounty for you, and you, and you, and just going down the line, looking at everyone in the party, for 50,000 gold. It seems you all are worth a lot to someone.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
Yep, that would be yep.
No.
They didn't seem very happy about it, but they did take it.
What did we do?
Do you know who?
All I saw was iconography of a golden dragon with multiple heads.
Hydra's head.
Oh, like this one?
No.
And I pull the small pendant with iconography of a dragon with multiple heads on it out from my bag.
Awesome.
And I hold it up.
They were in some chamber with large banners of that symbol.
Hmm.
You
Are
wouldn't.
they a cult or something?
Where did you get that necklace?
Where did I get this?
Moss nods.
From. Got this a while ago.
Oh God, really?
I got it from
Remember those dude we killed in that
Yeah.
temple?
that dude we killed. Yes, I got it from that dude we killed.
Yes.
I remember.
Which one? Where?
They were the bounty hunters, weren't they?
Yes, the bounty hunters.
One's
them.
one's name was Kurg. No, not Kurg.
No, Kirk was the nice one.
Yeah, no, Kurg was the nice one. It started with like a U or something.
It
Kunris,
doesn't matter.
Kunris, yes.
Kunris and Gore.
They were the mercenaries the Baron sent out.
Ah, yeah, those guys. I remember.
The something's head.
Hydra's head.
Hydra's head, yeah. She wouldn't.
Hydra's head, then.
She wouldn't.
But she did.
The Hydra's head, yes.
Hydra's head. The city seemed rainy, but with light. I'm unsure, but it seems we may be in danger.
Talia, roll a history check real quick.
Histoire.
History. The thing that is something I am proficient in. As a College of Loreboard. Oh
Didn't
wow!
help.
Wow! Could have been mad fucking
Yes.
funny, but no,
That,
fuck that.
That
Yeah.
description doesn't narrow it down for you. There's lots of lots of
That
places
are rainy.
regionally that have like the sunny rain going on.
Okay, so wait,
Entire
Asdale's
state of
Fantasy,
Washington.
England?
Didn't I say last time that Estale's Fantasy France?
Same thing. It's depending on where
What?
you are in France, it's pretty fucking rainy.
and impossible
Source, I
different
was in
places.
France several times.
And it rained. That water
Several
came from the
times.
sky.
I wish it would rain in California.
Those wishes cannot be granted.
Denied.
Something more realistic, please. I'm only a
California-
genie.
People need to
Wait,
talk about their
California's like,
children's gender. Not allowed. No rain allowed.
California is like, hey Britain, mom says it's my turn with the rain.
The rain. I'm not done with
Alright,
it yet.
So, social commentary aside.
Yeah. Anyways, back
This
into it.
This is too
Yeah,
political.
we had a
Oh
moment
my
here.
God.
I did want
D&D
to.
game.
I did want to start a debate about rain and geography.
La la.
Paula's like kind of fiddling with her hands, like shaking her head. She wouldn't.
But she did. But she did.
Wouldn't.
Moss nods. But she did. And now, turns to all of you. You are in danger.
Hey, I'll make y'all feel better. Cast hideous laughter. No,
She won't hurt us. I know she won't. Maybe we can convince her to come with us and leave them
Well,
behind.
maybe she won't hurt you.
She won't. You're my friends. She won't hurt my friends.
You don't know that.
Did she seem up to take the deal?
She did accept. Although, with a reaction. But she
What?
did accept.
What reaction?
I said, one tear. Just one.
That's so. That's she wouldn't.
and accepted
Doesn't.
and sat and walked out with it in her belt.
I a while ago I did send a message to her saying that I was looking for her. Maybe she's just. That's just the best opportunity to come see
I
me
think
again.
for now, it might be best to not send more letters.
I didn't send a letter I have when she like takes the necklace that she's been wearing this whole time. It's like this is a magic necklace that sends a 15-word message to anyone whose name is engraved on it, and her name it had her name be engraved in it.
Throw it away.
No, it's
They
a
can
one-way
use
thing.
that.
If
No,
I
they can use that to track you.
Yeah, throw it away.
The same way that this, and holds up the blue necklace, the blue thing. The same way I use this to find her.
this isn't anything she gave to me. This is something I bought. This was a gift from Tony, actually.
Still, if you use magic to contact her, she might be able to trace it back. And if you still wear that thing, then she might be able to track you.
She's like
As
she's
far
like
as
holding
I
it a
am
lot
aware-
tighter now. She's like
Yeah, no,
shaking her
Moss
head.
Moss holds his hand up. No,
She's like shaking her head.
if she did not create it, and she is not the one that gifted it, then they cannot track her with it. Only someone who is familiar with it can.
Well, I'm sorry that I don't want to die.
Can you ritually cast Thunderwave?
No.
Okay.
We're having a
Where has
moment
this
here.
come from?
Well, that moment was utterly destroyed.
Moss looks up. But for now, I believe you all should be more careful.
More careful it is.
Question for you, Talia.
Yes.
What? Why exactly is?
Yes.
Why exactly? Do you say? Like, why is it
Probably
that?
like
I don't know how to
Dude,
phrase
it's really
this.
cool.
I'm
You can
sorry.
do it.
Keep
You can
talking.
do it, Drana. You can do it, buddy.
Yes.
You got this.
I cast enhance ability on it.
How is it that you contacted her, or not contacted her, but like saw her?
Through a scry.
Moss did it for me.
Ah, I see.
He said, remember when we were sitting at the campfire and I was talking about her and he said he could help me find her? And I just remembered that this morning and passed.
She was able to describe them with enough detail and gave me, and I used this, and holds up the blue scarf, as a catalyst.
Can I have the scarf back?
Yeah, Moss holds
Like,
out to you.
hold on. And she takes it and she's like, puts it around her neck again.
Actually, Moss looks at it and then turns to Durgat. That may be the liability. That was a gift, was it not?
Yes, it's hers.
Is she a caster? Did she have
No.
abilities?
No, not that I know of. She's just a normal soldier. Or she was.
And how long has it been?
9 years? 10 years maybe? Since I last saw her. She's a dark elf. I don't think she can see in the dark, and she ages the same I do apparently, because apparently elves age differently than everyone else. But I don't think she has any real magic abilities, like a caster, like Hadrada has, or like Tony has, or like I have, or like you have.
And Moss's eyes are just kind of whirring, thinking for a moment. Doesn't say anything. Just
Anything I
off
don't know.
deck.
keep it in mind. And then
I will.
turns and leaves his room, because everyone else is in his room right now, because he got them all in there.
Okay.
And then he goes above deck, just lets everyone else get in there
Yeah.
and think for a little bit. If they want to talk, they can, but that's not his worry. They've got to deal with that shit, so he leaves.
Okay. So are the rest of you going to continue talking in Moss's room, or are you going up deck?
I'll give everyone some space.
Okay.
Go up deck. Get
Same
some
here.
fresh air.
Talia also gets. It goes up deck or on deck because she needs some air. She needs to
Everyone
breathe.
left Hadrada alone in Moss's room.
Hydrada's gonna search
Hadrada's
Moss's
just there
room.
like,
No, I'm just
so
kidding.
can you ritual cast Thunder?
Okay.
Don't answer my question.
Like, although that was like such an interrupting moment, that's so Hadrada.
Question: how do you tell if you can ritual cast something?
It has
It's-
the ritual
yeah.
tag.
It says ritual on it.
Yeah, it's got a little
It's marked
Oh,
the
a
same way
little
like
R,
it is
okay.
concentration.
So
Yeah.
why do none of my spells? Why can't I cast any of my spells ritually?
Because you
Because
didn't
most of
pick
them
any
aren't
ritual
rituals.
spells.
Yeah.
I have like 3. You'd think
I have
though
none,
you'd be
I
able to
think.
send.
Moving
I'm
on.
Okay.
You're
Oh no, I do have some.
Counterspell. I feel like not counterspell. I feel like sending would be a ritual spell.
Fine. I have 5 ritual
it's not.
spells.
That's surprising. Okay, continuing. Hardrada is also going to walk out of Tony's room. No,
Otherwise,
My
you could
room.
just spam it. That'd be OP
Um,
as shit.
Moss's room.
yeah, Moss's room.
Just sit there in the corner.
Before Talia goes up deck, she'd like to send a message via the little necklace and just like send a message to her. I was like, I know about Hydra's head.
Hey, what the fuck?
That's something she do. Let her be. My God, this is her. This is the love for life we're talking about.
That's the modern equivalent. I love it.
After you send that, a few seconds go by without an answer, and finally, a voice says back to you, "What can I say? I was alone. I had no money. They took me in. They gave me work. They've been good to me. It's not my fault that you're getting into trouble when you know
I
you
feel
can't
like that's
handle
more
it."
than 15 words.
Yeah, she's only
That's a lot of
she can
words.
only say 15 words back.
Right. So
Got
That was
cut off
exactly
after paid
15
well.
words.
As we already
It was exactly
established,
15 words, don't count it, it was exactly 15 words.
as we already established, word count, the word limit doesn't count if you can't count.
So yeah, in 15 words, that's the general gist that you get from her. Is that
There's a lot of hyphens in there.
A lot of conjoined words. Just
Talking
like-
a little more like this, combining all the words together.
She just, Talia's girlfriend really just said, I'm German now, huh?
Me and my people. We had no money.
but yeah, that's the general gist that you get from her.
She like Talia can still send some stuff. He's like, you won't hurt us, will you?
Silence.
She goes back. We're on deck.
Okay. So going up deck, you see that the weather has transitioned from when you were closer to Vudar. It was very clear and very sunny, very temperate. Now, going towards Wintervale, it has become more foggy over the water. The temperature has dropped significantly. It's much cooler. And you begin to see small ice flows. in the
Ethovon is
water.
the fantasy equivalent of England.
Wintervale sounds more like Norway in my opinion, but it's called Wintervale.
Maybe we should just turn and go to the north
No.
instead.
No, we need to save Wintervale. We need to make sure that at least that Durgat's mom is safe. She gave us shelter. It's like she's an ally. We should make sure that she's safe. Like, good God, this is Durgat's mother we're talking about. My God. Sorry.
Boss is just
I-
staring.
Did not mean to say that aggressively. But
Yeah, I
you
really
know,
hope my mom is okay.
she's just like, this is basically family, Durgat's mom. So we're helping. It's like we help with Tony's parents, we're going to help with Durgat's mom.
Yeah.
I was just joking.
Tony gives a
Talia
yeah.
is obviously not in the mood for joking right now.
Moss's view kind of like drifts up into the sky just a little bit.
Yes.
parents.
And this weather is very different than what you are used to in Vudar. It is total polar opposite. It is cold. It is foggy. There's ice forming in the water as you sail through it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the thing that, for some reason, is a cantrip. I'm gonna use Druidcraft to see what the weather's gonna be like tomorrow.
welcome
How
to
fucked up is this place gonna be weather-wise?
Forecast
Welcome-
nothing.
welcome
Now-
to Moss's radio station.
Moss
Moss
just
with the
walks
weather.
off screen and appears in front of a weather map and a green screen.
So today we're going to have some rough patches over here in the west.
Now, hello everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Today, here's the forecast coming up for the next 24 hours.
He's holding
okay.
a stick instead of a pointer.
He's using his staff as the stick. It's just this literal stick he found in the woods. Yeah, but so it's I get a little harmless sensory effect that depicts it's like a little spray of water if it's rain, a little trickle of snow if it's gonna snow. I guess like a little bits of like flecks of ice if it's sleet. I don't know.
Okay. And it says that it detects the weather of your current location. So
Yeah. So just like the general area, what this area would be like for the next 24
you
hours.
get like some sleet, like some very like thin, almost
Fucking
rainy,
sleet.
like rain snow kind of hybrid, like slush.
So more slush than like ice. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. That's like, oh, this will be great for the ecosystem. And then like closes
Aw.
his fist.
What will be?
Like Moss just kind of looks at you. He'd be smiling if he had a mouth, but he doesn't, so he's just looking at you.
I should look at you. Confused.
Does
you all look-
he holds up his hand and does the thing again, and just this like little pile of mush appears in his hand,
And what does that mean?
and he throws it at Tony.
She get moss
Slaps
like
against my helmet.
magnetic mouth and eyebrows. They,
the
like, change
Mr.
out.
Potato Head
Yeah.
mouthpieces.
Angry eyebrows.
Oh, that one got me.
Fucking Mr. Moss.
Mr. Moss. First branded toy when we're big, y'all. Mr. Moss.
Now with new 30 wild shape expansions.
Oh, God. Mix
You
and
can't
match.
combine them.
Recycling. Oh my god, make a Mecha Moss.
God.
Mossazord.
No.
But yeah, you continue on the boat. If there isn't anything you want to do on the boat, we can go ahead and skip to pulling into Wintervale port. But it's up to you if you have things you want to do. Investigate.
Nothing
night-
more I wish to do on this boat.
The night
Tell-
of Moss would do something, but I'm gonna let you guys do something. Do all your stuff first.
So when we arrive in Wintervale, Talia doesn't really have anything to do on the ship except for sadly gazing into nothing, feeling sorry for herself.
Green Day plays in the background.
I walk. When we get back to Wintervale, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, Talia's gonna be on. Talia's gonna like be on high alert. Just like in
What
general.
time is it
maybe-
when we go to
maybe
arrive?
So we'll say that you arrive in Wintervale the following morning.
Question.
So
So that would include like taking a long rest, and I mean, you guys already got that, but it'd be like another day's travel.
Hadrada, you're
Oh,
killing me. I'm already 3
microphone.
drinks deep, man.
Sorry. So I was wondering, can shut up. So
The same thing.
so if I am, am I close enough to my original form? Like, am I so different now that I wouldn't be able to be recognized from my old form?
I was wondering the same thing, that like he's now like he's now a tiefling a dwarf. Would the Hydra said still fucking dwarf. Dwarf. What the Hydra
That
said
sounds
still
like a slur.
recognize him.
That sounds like a fucking slur.
Dwarf and an elf is a dwelf.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that he's different enough to where he probably wouldn't be detected in that manner, but he's also traveling with people who
with
are
us. So.
known to be wanted, so keep that in mind.
So Hardrada's just gonna step away. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know these people.
I don't know these people. What are you talking about?
Hadrada's gonna hand us in.
Oh, Lucky Moss doesn't have any like real fucking world experience, or he'd be fucking running.
So yeah, the final day on the boat goes by. Night comes and you all go to sleep, and you wake up the next day.
Psych. That night, it'd be a good bit into everyone going to bed, because Moss doesn't have any concept of sleep or how that functions. But so probably about the equivalent of about 1 or 2 a.m. Tony would get a heavy.
Don't start Hadrada. I swear if it's you.
I open the door.
Do you ritual cast?
Giant,
Hello, Moss.
giant hulking mass right in front of the door.
My stuff.
You open the door and he's just directly against it, type thing.
Yep.
I need to ask you about something.
Yeah, come in.
Ducks his head under the door, walks in.
What do you need?
I've been thinking, processing something. Hadrada's new patron, the one giving him his gifts.
Yes.
I believe I'm connected to them, and I'm not sure how to process. I've tried processing. I went to Hadrada and asked him to communicate, but they didn't want me.
Oh. That's gotta
I'm
be
unsure
hard to.
how to proceed.
It's gotta be hard to process. Well.
Moss looks up to you.
How
do you feel of your mother? What do you think of her?
My mother.
Awesome.
I love my mother, of course. She's a very good woman. Why do
Moss
you
tilts his
ask?
head to the side.
Is this...
Why do you love your mother? Is it innate? Is it amount of time?
I don't suppose I know. It's not one of those things you really understand logically. It's just something that is.
Do you have to?
I don't suppose I'd have to, but I couldn't imagine not personally.
But you've known her.
Yeah, she's known her for so long. As long as I can remember.
Moss nods.
It's only done amazing things for me.
I don't understand the concept of mothers, fathers, parents. It's foreign.
You
It
don't need
is.
to understand. It's fine. I put my hand on Moss's shoulder.
But it may not be fine.
And I say, look, sometimes your mum or your dad will do something and you'll hate them for it. You'll look at them and you'll think, how you're supposed to be the one solid rock in my life. And you'll think it's terrible, but it'll all work out. Just a little bit over the horizon, a bit over that hill. You'll get over there and they'll be standing there. They'll be the one at the end of that hill when you walk up it. Right?
But
You won't understand now.
don't- Moss shakes his head. I don't have parents. I don't have anyone. Just you all. My
Well
past
then,
is blank.
I guess we'll be the ones at the end of that hill then.
See Moss kind of like adjust his shoulders a bit, stand up a bit taller. That. Moss turns his head, looks to you. That. And reaches his hand out and puts it on his shoulder, on Tony's shoulder. And just nods.
Tony gives a smile up at Moss. A comforting one.
Takes his hand away, and there's just like a little bit of moss left on your shoulder. Just goes all the time. He doesn't really control it anymore. And then just nods and goes to walk out the door and turns at the doorway. Just thank you, Tony.
If you ever need anything, you know where I am. Anytime.
Moss nods. And same.
Thank you. And I wave off Moss.
Closes the door after him.
Thank you.
Moss would go up to the deck, sit on like the very bow, just kind of sit there and then position himself so his neck is just staring up, straight up, and just go into his little deactivated state up there on the deck.
Okay. Yeah. Currently at nighttime, the stars aren't visible. The moon is more of a glowing halo in the sky from the mist that is surrounding the boat on the water, and it is very silent. You hear like the waves chop against the side of the boat, and the boat kind of go through like ice that has begun to form and kind of break through it a little bit. And if nobody has anything to do for the nighttime, we will go to the next day.
It's fine with me. I'm just gonna try and sleep off that hour I just lost.
Okay, so the next day comes, and you will all wake up. It is slightly less misty, but it is even more chilly now. You can see, well, for those of you that have breath, you can see your breath coming out of your mouth and hanging in the air. And you look around, and there's ice that has begun to form on some of the outrigging and stuff of the boat. So it is a very chilly morning, and the sun isn't really shining. It looks like Wintervale.
You scorching rain. Oh, okay.
I
Oh,
come out
no.
onto top deck.
Moss
Kind
is
of
fucking
just-
frozen in place on the deck.
my god.
Flick him. No.
Is Moss still sat up there?
Yeah, he went into his deactivated state out there.
I'll come up and just kind of wait for you to wake up, sit on a stool nearby, I don't know.
As you
Like,
approach,
small
as you approach
icicles,
his
like growing on him.
yeah, as you approach, he like his whole body just kind of like and turns to you because he doesn't sleep.
Ooh.
This is just as you approach, he breaks all the ice off and turns.
So you feeling better? You look a little cold.
Moss nods. It's not much of an issue for me.
I'm glad to see you're feeling better then.
Moss shrugs. Better is relative. I was always okay. Just processing.
Better is relative, but it's always better.
Moss kind of turns his head to the side.
And better is never worse.
Angle goes deeper.
Thought he's gonna stop talking now.
Head
I
rights
open
up
the deck
and
and I'm
falls
like,
out there.
shit, it's cold here.
Kinda like
No,
the
you
fresh
liked
air.
it. I liked it cold. You liked it cold.
Well, I was getting used to the heat of Vudar.
Herdrota
We
walks up
were
onto the
just
top
in a
deck
desert.
Yeah, that's true.
and
that's
says,
true.
it's just like home, except a little less cold.
I was just like, oh, this is not like home at all.
Fucking northerners. You think this is cold? Well,
And,
everyone gathers up. He whips his hand out and does a produce flame. Holds it open for everybody.
Aw.
I'll warm my hands on that,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much.
Yeah, same.
And yeah, as you start warming up, you notice that the deck begins to bustle with crewmen who begin working on this or working with the sails, and the navigator goes and relieves the night watchman and takes command of the ship again, and you begin your journey once more. After a few hours of sailing, you hear somebody shout from the top crow's nest, "Wintervale approaches!" And you look out and you can see just the outline of the peninsula that, or not the peninsula, but the inlet that Wintervale is in. You can see like the mountains kind of outlined by the fog, and small lights where buildings are, but it's very obscured by the fog still, but you can see it kind of forming in the distance.
I would like to change Azia back into a raven, because she's,
Okay.
I think she's still a snake or something. I don't know.
Oh no, she's going to hibernation. Is it called hibernation?
She's
Birds.
made out of stars! She doesn't do that!
I forgot.
Anyways, and I sent her to, like, in the direction of Wintervale just to, like, check if everything's still okay.
Okay. Yeah, so you send her out and she begins flying towards Wintervale. She nears the city, flying from the water, and you see that Wintervale is intact. There's no destruction. The streets are still busy and bustling with people. There's guards on patrols.
Okay.
It looks like good old Wintervale.
Okay, and then she's gonna, like, Azira's gonna make a turn and then come back, land on Talia's arm, which she has been holding out. And
She does a
says,
turn around the castle in Wintervale. It's like kind of up on the cliff face and elevated above the rest of the city. And she kind of does like a loop around that and then flies back out to the ship.
Yeah, and Talia's like, so Wintervale is still very much intact. Everything's still pretty much alright from what Azia could see.
Well,
Thank
yes,
God.
we are still within our time frame. That was
Yes,
expected.
but I was just making sure.
What was the time frame? What was the time frame again?
2
few
weeks.
weeks.
It has
At
been
least.
5 days.
Well, yes, but still, I just wanted to make sure. Maybe to she bumps her arm against Durgat's. I was like, just to maybe give Durgat a bit of
I'm a
ease.
blackout. You guys keep doing this to me. This drinking game's too much.
What drinking game?
There's one for question. Every time Hadrada says question before he asks the question. And every time like is said more than 3 times in a sentence by Talia.
Yeah.
I'm still getting everyone else's rules down, but those are the main 2. Because if you
Every
just did
time
it
I
every
d-
time you said like, you'd black out. So you have to do it every time it's used more than 3 times in a sentence.
Excuse you?
drink something. Every time I forget a word or change my phrasing
I
mid-sentence.
feel very much fucking offended that I am used as a fucking drinking game. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
everyone
Like
here
it's
is.
like this is like I'm just playing.
Mine is I still talk slow and I still fuck up my words. Any
You can
Hoosies.
see that the ice flows around the ship have gotten much bigger, getting towards the actual land. The ice flows are bigger, and the mist is relatively thick. And it seems like it's fairly thick, covering Wintervale as well.
Fairly
I hope we
thick.
won't- I hope the ship won't sink. That's
That'd
dangerous.
suck.
Mm.
And you get closer and closer to port,
And then a kraken jumps
eventually-
out.
What's that?
And then a kraken jumps out.
Don't give him ideas.
Ice
No.
Then a
Kraken.
skeleton flew out of it.
Krakens are more for temperate waters. This would be more of like a
Yeah, it
Leviathan,
always has
maybe.
to.
Yeah,
It's like the
Leviathan.
Bahamas.
Yeah,
where the
a
Kraken
kraken.
lives.
A kraken would go into hibernation here. Is
The
hibernation
kraken,
still the right
native to
word? or
Fiji.
not?
Hibernation is the right
Yeah,
word.
that's right.
Okay,
It's got to be like the Caribbean.
Yeah.
part of the Caribbean. Yes.
Back
Okay.
into the Caribbean.
So, as we're pulling, like, getting closer and closer, Hardrada is going to, Hardrada's gonna mire her illusion, a smiley face on his face. No, okay, Hardrada is going to, like,
also
ask
starting with the lake,
sailors
yeah?
around about the like Wintervale sorta. He's basically gonna ask if there are any firework merchants.
No. It's gonna right. Go ahead, right. Stop him.
You don't
No.
know what's going on.
They look at you and say, you know, we're not really sure. We're not from there, so you'd have to look around.
I see. Thank you.
What the fuck is this guy talking about? We're coming with him from our home. You there, sailor boy!
Imagine we're on like a boat full of tieflings as well.
Like Tiefling and Dragonborn and Khajiit, or not Khajiit, Tabaxi.
Khajiit.
Played too much
Strong
Skyrim,
game.
homie.
That's it. Tabaxi are now Khajiit. It's canon.
Cannon.
Khajiit has glitters.
Well,
the
they're
fuel
all
have
cat
coin.
boys and cat girls. Yes, I said
Yes!
They're just getting hammered on
Unless I
skooma.
said it.
Yeah, and
It's like here's the truth, and you know it.
your ship finally pulls into Wintervale port and goes up to the dock, gets tied off, and you are now back in Wintervale.
Jorge.
Hey.
And you get like a very overwhelming sense of like home. in a
I
way.
don't.
Oh,
Well, except Moss.
must just
I
like
have no idea where the fuck this is. I don't know what snow is. The fuck is this shit?
Yeah, this place would seem like as alien to you as going to like another plane of existence. Like instead of there being
Yeah, there's no way I'd know what that's like.
Do you
Instead
guys
of there
know
being,
that?
like, blue sky, bright shining sun, sand everywhere.
It's
just
like an
a high
Australian
heat.
going to Iceland.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you guys
it's,
know that
um,
one vine's like the
Froggy.
fuck, the fuck is in the air. The fuck, there's
fuck?
white shit everywhere.
There's like snow-covered mountains in the distance that Wintervale is kind of surrounded by, and yeah, it's just totally different than what you're used to.
Moss is literally just like the entire one step off the boat. Does not move for like 5 minutes. Just scanning.
I just knock against Moss. You okay, robot man?
Your hand hurts.
Ow. Not gonna do that again.
Very cold metal. That would hurt like a bitch.
I'm wearing gloves though. I'm a thief.
And Moss goes, is like, this is new. I didn't realize there was still more.
There
Just kind
always
of
is
looks
more.
around.
Mhm. Yeah.
I ask
Just
everyone.
to show you guys.
I ask everyone.
Here's Wintervale.
Why is
Oh,
there
fuck,
a
why is there a
bad
map?
feeling about this.
Oh,
I have a bad
no.
feeling about this.
Well,
Well, no,
guys.
No, it's just because.
Sir.
No, it's just.
No,
just 'cause
don't
we're
All
gonna
of us
die soon, don't
immediately
worry.
jump
Last
into like
time you s-
defensive positions.
No,
Last
it's
time
just
you
to give
said
you the
this-
lay of the land.
The last time you said, "Oh, this just for show," a fucking kraken showed up.
Yeah, but that was a one shot.
Fair.
Yeah,
Still.
but still.
Hardrada.
We know your tactics,
Hardrada is
Mike.
going to ask you, or ask like the party, if they want me to go find a tavern.
You could stay at.
That would be good.
No, you shouldn't. I was about
Moss
to say
just
we
kind of
could
scans
stay
from exactly where he is. Can he find a tavern?
I thought you were gonna say Hadrada
was-
asks question.
at-
That's the most meta.
Brilliant.
But can I do a quick scan, see if I can see a tavern from right where we are?
Sure. Roll a investigation check.
Hardrada's also gonna try that.
But if it's from afar, can it be perception?
Well, I mean, I would say that it's. I mean, Hadrada's been here before. He's been to the taverns around here. So
Oh yeah, so I
would-
do know
Oh,
of
he
the
doesn't
tavern.
know.
So I would say if you do want to roll, you guys can do it at advantage because literally everyone here has like been to this town for an extended period of time.
It's an investigation. I'll give you advantage because I don't have shit for investigation.
I'm just also gonna put it's just like maybe we can stay at Durgat
17.
Mom's
17.
place.
So yeah,
Don't they
you
only have
remember.
like one room though?
Yeah, Moss just kind of looks
but
at
still.
himself and then looks at Talia and then looks at Durgat and then looks at himself. I may
Fair.
not fit.
Fair. It's true. Want to
Um,
save us money because I have none.
This doesn't look too expensive. And then follows Hadrada to the tavern.
Yeah, so on your investigation check, you remember that the taverns closest to the docks would be over in this area. It is just past the docks and in the not so great part of town called the Struts. It's where people kind of live in squalor and have fallen.
Sounds
On-
literally perfect.
Rough
Love that
luck.
band.
Go there?
Sure.
I'd rather not stay at your parents' house. May drag some unwanted attention with our current bounty.
Oh yeah, we should probably stay away from my parents' house, cause
Mhm.
you know. How much money was it? We have in our heads.
50,000 gold.
Yeah, 50,000 gold. Let's just say I would break into a house and kill a mother to get 50,000 gold.
Perhaps heading to the part of town where people need money is not the place for us to be. And it's kind of looking around and seeing the seedy bits.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I
I'm
mean-
pretty sure if these people attack us, we could probably kill them immediately.
Do you want to kill them in the street? Just head cocks to the side.
Fair, not in the street, but I'll figure something out.
I feel like the rundown cheap area is the best cover.
Yeah.
Mosh just shrugs.
Okay, if we go into the fancy part of town and people look rich or something, we would stand out. We would stand out far more.
Mm-hmm.
We have those dresses. And that
Oh, yeah.
tuxedos.
Yeah, that would make us stand out even more.
Actually, did we order them or did we pick them up that day? 'Cause
Oh
I
shit,
think
Moss
that
never
place
got his
burned
dress,
down.
right?
Shit, we never got the fucking
No,
dresses.
I don't think any of us got them because the fucking tailor burned
No.
down before we picked them up.
Oh
I'm
no,
still
we picked them
thinking
up
about
that
this
day.
and waiting for someone to get them.
Oh no, I think
well, Moss's order was on thing. I don't know if everyone's was, but Moss's
I
was.
think we bought our dresses and suits immediately there. Just Moss needed his custom made, so he couldn't get it right away.
Yeah, so everyone but Moss has their fancy wear.
Oh no.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, y'all.
Come borrow my fancy
I've
wear.
literally been thinking about that ever since that session.
Oh
I was
no.
like, fuck, I'm not
Oh
gonna
my
get
God.
I'm not gonna get my sick as fuck cloak so I can hide my body. I'm just walking around as this
Aw.
fucking giant robot in the middle of town.
Well, luckily they're
But yeah, that's something every single person would be turning and staring.
luckily there is a tailor in Wintervale, so
Well, I don't know
Do you have
that.
disguise self?
this
No.
is a
No.
The
Okay.
fuck you think I am? Some arcane caster?
large city that has all the amenities that anyone could need.
Moss has been to one city.
Yeah.
Fair.
This is a child. You're with a child.
I'll have you know
Two
Moss is
cities. Wait
parked
a second.
outside
Two
of another
cities.
city.
He's
No,
been
3
like
cities
Tula
including
and
Kabas.
2
Yeah,
cities.
wants to burn it down. He wasn't there visiting. He wasn't taking
I'll
care
have
of
you
it.
know, you parked outside of a city is a giant pterodactyl one.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say the
Didn't
exact
go
same
in.
thing.
Well, I went in just to go and get a thing, and then found some
You've
armor.
been in more car parks than you have cities.
Yes, that's true.
Like a steel pterodactyl at that.
They just
Yeah.
a giant metal fucking pterodactyl.
Oh, I guess it really is cool.
It sounds like Rodan when it roars.
Should we head to the
Let's head to the end. Yeah,
Trogdor was a man.
The shitty end, right?
Yes.
the shitty end. Yeah.
Yeah, going to the shitty end.
Hardrada is actually going to disguise self to make himself look more like even more tiefling.
Not okay. So, like doing what then? Because I mean, at this point, like you look mostly tiefling, except you're short.
Make myself
and have,
taller.
Like a beard.
No,
He's
okay.
a
Make
boss
yourself
with
disguise
people,
self
except
very
for
specifically
showing.
can't make you that much
I
taller.
know, I know.
Yeah,
I'm
it makes
just
you
kidding.
1 foot taller.
Yeah, it can make you look taller, but if somebody like, goes to like grab your head or pat you on the shoulder,
You'd
their
be a
hand
5
would
foot
go-
tiefling, that's fine.
Yeah, it could be a
Straight
5 foot
through.
tiefling. No,
It broke my knees.
But I am going. Okay, so if I look like fully tiefling but just short, then I'm gonna keep myself as is, and I'm going to enter the tavern.
Oh yeah. Hold on. The sketch of Hadrada, was it as a dwarf or as a tiefling?
It was as
That's
a
a really
dwarf.
important question.
As a
Yeah.
dwarf. Yeah.
As a dwarf. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Come on,
Okay,
Ridron.
so- All right, so all of you leave the docks, and
Indeed.
you head towards the tavern that's closest to the docks, and you walk in, and it is
Moss,
very
the
warm
entire
inside.
walk
Um,
is scanning for people that are like looking at them in any wrong way. Like anyone that looks too long, Moss is looking out for anyone that's paying attention to the group. He's on
I'm-
full watchdog mode.
yeah,
Okay.
and I'm going to cast Find Familiar. And
Just on the walk.
yeah, just on the walk. No, once we get to the tavern,
Okay. What was your familiar again?
a pseudo dragon.
Right. Okay.
And then I'm going to break off from the group and
Never good.
take a different route towards the tavern.
You're
But
the guide
keep
to the
the-
tavern, so we follow you.
Yeah.
They
You're
also
the
know
one
where it
leading
is.
the party.
Yeah.
And
would
say-
even so, I'm going to keep my pseudo dragon with the group and have it walk with them.
Do I notice
I
him
will
trying to
be
break
right
back.
away?
Yeah. Roll a perception, because I was gonna say it's totally
Well,
up to you guys
roll-
if you're following.
Are you
or-
trying to be sneaky, Hadrada?
No, I'm not trying to be sneaky.
Alright, then I just follow you.
Okay.
I have,
That
a,
works.
I have a passive perception of 18. So
Oh
would
god,
wanna
I
see
know
you,
where you're off.
Yeah.
Sonny doesn't.
Moss doesn't know where he's going, and he thought he was following Hadrada, so he follows Hadrada.
Knowing where Moss is about to end up, this is so much funnier.
So Hardrada is going to take another route to the tavern.
Okay. What are you doing? Just making like a wide circle and then getting back to it, or like, do you have a specific route in mind? I guess would be.
Anything to break someone from my tail.
Okay, I had less hope for Hadrada, I'm not gonna lie.
So you're just trying to break off and if
Like I'm going
okay,
to try
so-
and like take random directions so that it looks.
Well, so as I see him doing that, I want to go back to what I was trying to do before all that weirdness, where I was trying to see if we had a tail.
Okay.
But can I check for that? See if there's some motherfucker following us, making shifty eyes.
Yeah. Roll a perception.
16.
16.
8.
Hey, Mike, do you mind actually giving me a pseudo dragon character sheet?
Sure.
Oh, wherever you want.
Um,
Actually, no. Okay.
Yeah,
You mean
so
go
look-
for me.
yeah, so looking around, you don't see anyone that seems like they're following you or tailing you or anything.
I am back, so what did I miss?
Hi. I'd rather us take a different
I'm
route to not be
dead.
tailed. That's it.
You're not dead.
Yeah,
Stop lying
Durgat
to me.
died. Yeah, Durgat drowned.
Yeah,
Yeah,
owlbears came out of nowhere, ripped their arms off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
drowned.
I slipped up, fell down some stairs that were frozen over and broke my
Yeah.
neck.
Right, don't
Who's
bolt
the
at
queen
me.
of Franks? I am. Kung, 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 kung.
They,
How do you...
the city is being overrun by frost trolls.
Will
Oh,
you
God.
stop it, you
Frost trolls and
motherfuckers?
owlbears drowned.
So,
Andrada tries to break off and do a bunch of like sneaky subterfuge stuff, and Moss is just loudly following behind him.
Dum, dum, dum.
But, is that just a regular dragon? That just looks like a regular dragon.
No, it's a pseudo dragon, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
can you-
pseudo dragons look like.
I know they look like
pseudo-dragons.
dragons, but like it doesn't have like the scorpion-like tail as far as I can see.
It has
Well,
7. Yeah, it's
Maybe
a
you need
pseudo-
some glasses.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
no, it's
whatever.
It's a pseudo dragon.
Okay, well, can you assign it to me?
I am.
Thank you.
1 second.
Patience.
And do we level her?
And
Come on, dude! We were doing so well!
No, we weren't. The counter is on -2.
Okay. You should be able to.
I meant today.
control it.
Ah.
do I have the character sheet? Yes, I do. Thank you.
Yep.
So I'm going to have the pseudo dragon. Also check for people who are following the other group.
Okay. So, are you taking a different way to the tavern to, like, avoid being tailed, or are you trying to break off from the group? I guess that's like.
Hardrada and I are breaking off from the group to break us into 2 groups. We're moving specifically to try to lose a tail if there is one following the group, and they're just going on a path as if like we didn't follow.
Yeah.
I'm mostly trying to I'm trying to do 2 things. One, I'm trying to look like I'm not part of their group, so that 2, I can jump in and attack anyone by surprise who is trying to get our group.
Okay.
And since me and Moss aren't like known as part of this group, then I'm hoping at least that we'll be able to, get the jump on them.
Those 3 eternal words. I'm hoping, at least.
So can I do a perception check to on the pseudo dragon to see if he sees any people following them?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Pseudo dragon. That's a 18.
Ooh, Jesus.
Okay.
Christ.
Yeah, there's
A good roll.
from what it can see, no one's following you in a suspicious manner. Nobody's tailing you. You're not
It
picking up
has
on
been
like,
like an hour. So-
Yeah, but still.
I just thought about that. It's like, oh wait.
Never be too careful.
Can never be too
Might be
careful.
scouts.
Also, how did we know they weren't in Wintervale?
As they were in a big giant room
Oh,
with
yeah,
giant banners of Hydra Head. Come at me, son. I know what happened.
So yeah, nobody seems to be tailing you. Nothing seems suspicious or out of place, and you kind of go and take like the long way around to the tavern, and you get there. There's patrons outside, but they seem very drunk and just kind of fooling around with each other. Nobody that would, stand out to you.
No one who would
With
slit
theme
our
of red.
throats.
No.
Okay.
Other than Moss, who does it? quick kill while we're separated from the group. Yeah, so we regroup and go to the tavern.
Okay. So, yeah, you go into the tavern, and it is fairly busy. It's not like, bumping, but there's a good number of patrons in there. A lot of them seem like sailors. You do see some of the crewmen that you sailed with. You see some of them in there as well. A couple people that look like maybe traveling merchants.
Great.
So I was thinking, I walk up to the bartender, and I ask for how many of us are there? 5?
Yep. 5 and a huge ass dog.
I ask for 5 rooms of mild quality, or 4 rooms of mild quality and 1 large room.
Okay. So for that, we'll say 6 silver per night.
Okay, well, perfect. I had 6 silver in my inventory.
For like everyone, that's like a silver per room essentially. So 6 for everybody.
Oh, nice.
I'm still waiting for the moment when when you say price and everyone just looks at me.
Hey.
So
Sorry,
I
only
pay
has
for that,
100.
and I head to my room immediately with
Oh,
my
yeah.
pseudo dragon.
Okay. So yeah, Hadrada goes immediately up to his room. What is everyone else doing?
Does anyone want a drink?
Lost
Yeah, I
nods.
could use a drink right now, actually.
Sure.
What do you want to drink?
Have some
Some
wine.
wine. Yeah.
I'll take what you have.
Okay. 2 wines and whatever I'm having.
Lost nods.
Nice. Go up to the bar. Say hello, barman. I'd like 2 wines and 2 very stout cups of ale, please.
Okay. And the tavern keeper says, "Okay, give me 1 second. That'll be a gold for everything."
A gold for everything?
Fucking
Okay.
hell! What kind of round of drinks
Hand-
is a gold but a night for 5 rooms? Holy shit!
Alcohol's a lot more valuable in the squalid part of town.
I love it. They got their priorities
I give him
right.
a gold.
I'd rather like use my money to pay for drinks than pay for a room.
And I bring back over the drinks. 2 wines, 2 cups of ale.
Okay. Yeah, and she brings it all out to you and sets it down in front of you.
Be hot.
Just for Olive, not for Moss.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's a joke from my old campaign. I'm sorry. I don't worry about answering it.
I mean, she's like an older looking half elf.
Hey, I'm into it.
What?
Like,
What?
What?
Older looking. You're not old. Get out of here.
Yeah, but this sounds like something's about to go bad.
This is Oliver, not Moss. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Moss doesn't have genitalia. It's canon.
Moss has no gender. I have decided.
Well, you
What
didn't
is a
decide it. I
binary
just did.
icon?
Moss is actually a contestant in Robot Wars.
He's actually just a toaster. A robot, of course, is non-binary. Is male presenting. It's easier to go he. Cause he's got big old shoulders. A man. He's a
So-
man's man.
Hardrada, well, in his room, is going to climb out the window. No, he's going to
Keep doing that. One of these times, Mike's just gonna make it happen.
and he's going to read No, he's not gonna read. He's actually is going to climb out the window and is this on the second floor or the third or the first floor?
The second floor. Yeah.
Oh damn. That's gonna be a bit harder to climb out the window.
Yeah, a little bit.
He's going to have his pseudo dragon go out the window and look for different like blacksmiths or just somewhere where he can move metal.
Okay, so you're essentially looking to use the facilities of a blacksmith in town?
Yes.
Okay. You do know that there is a blacksmith in town.
Yes.
Wait a second. I believe one of you guys has been there before, too, right?
We
Yeah, I
should
believe so.
visit Tony's boyfriend.
Well, that was the enchanter.
Yeah, well, but still, we should pay him a visit.
The,
What time is it right now?
Wait, are you saying this out loud at the table?
Yes.
Tony says, yes, we should do that.
You admitted he's your boyfriend.
I mean...
You're not saying no? You're not saying no?
Well,
you
if you
caught
keep-
me, Hansa.
If you keep insisting, then
You got me.
1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Can I
we're
insight
already
that?
drinking.
Can I insight what Tony that Tony just kind of admitted that you're Miras's boyfriend? Can I insight that?
Sure.
Please?
Yeah, go ahead.
I will insight that. Hello.
It seems on the up and up.
Tony's just like, really?
I mean... Clearly.
Does Yrmir know about this?
I don't know.
So
You're an asshole.
So, speaking of enchanters, I am actually going to head to a blacksmith's.
Yeah, and you do remember that the blacksmith here is in the other part of town. Like right now, you're in kind of the poverty-stricken section. He is in the other part of town where like Yaramir's shop is, and the
we
nicer
can just-
tavern, and like general merchants and apothecaries.
I'll walk. I also want to find a fireworks store or somewhere that sells fireworks.
Ugh.
Okay. So yeah, you exit the tavern and begin making your way towards the blacksmith shop.
Boss follows him if he leaves.
Okay. Is Hadrada not wanting to be followed, or are you cool with it?
I'm cool with it.
Okay.
On my way, I sort of like meditate and sort of like focus my energy to see, does Bri think a firework launcher would be cool?
Let's also not have meditation. Okay.
Like it's like going to your mom. It's like, Mom, I had this idea. What do you think?
Yo, Bri,
It's like
what's
such a fucking
up?
contrast to corn.
I would say
isn't
like, corn-
technically-
Does not answer you at all. To Bry, you just go and go and go and just like, Mom.
Well, corn is a dick, so.
Hey, God. God.
I would
God.
say to like
Yo, God, how you doing?
I would say to like convene with Bri that it wouldn't be something like that where you can essentially just pick up the phone and give her a call.
Okay, fair enough.
It'd have to be more of like a ritualistic kind of thing. You know, you'd have to find,
Okay,
like,
well, whether she likes it or not, I'm making a firework launcher.
Okay, so yeah, roll an investigation to see if you can find somewhere that might sell
Can I
fireworks.
roll, or not roll, but can I like do the opposite of aid? Can I give him disadvantage? Like try to point him in the wrong direction?
Whoops, I just rolled with advantage. 1 second.
Well, you rolled a
Sure.
6, so.
Yeah, sure. That's an interesting one though. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I'll say definitely go for it. So 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you
as he's
don't-
going, Monster's like, I think it's this way. And it's like completely wrong direction.
but
How
yeah,
would he know where the fireworks store is?
No, but I get you lost, apparently.
Oh,
My goal is to not let you find it.
I used my pseudo dragon to look for it.
Jesus.
You're just gonna let him keep spamming checks, Mike, huh?
No.
Lost. Yeah.
So
Okay,
Yeah.
but this isn't me looking for it. It's my pseudo dragon.
It's the same thing, man.
Fair enough.
all right, we'll say this: if you like just do whatever else you were gonna do, like handle your other business, after that you can make another check and see if you find something.
No, it's fine. So I'm going to look for. Why do I? Okay, never mind. So I'm going to look for the blacksmith, and I'm gonna go to the blacksmith, and I am going to ask him if I can use his facilities for money.
Okay. And how much are you offering him? You see that he is a dwarven blacksmith, like red hair, braided, and like a long beard with like pieces of it braided over the like combed, straightened hair. And he looks at you and says, yes. What is it I can do for you?"
I would like to use your facilities. How does 25 gold sound?
And he says, 25 gold. You got 2 hours.
That's enough for me, actually. This wouldn't take too long, so.
And takes it and pockets it, and kind of leaves the work area and leans against a table, like a work table, with his arms crossed, and he's just watching you, kind of to see what it is that you're gonna do.
I'm going to form the iron I took into a rounded sort of like thing with a hole in it. Like not a very big hole, just like enough for like a stick to fit into.
So what is it essentially that you're trying to make here? Sorry.
Tube.
A tube.
A
Okay.
one open-ended tube, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah, like
With small pins that you can play, and when you blow down one end, it makes a noise out the other.
No.
A tuba.
Tuba. He's trying to make a barrel for the firework launcher.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so use your smithing tools.
I rolled that at advantage again.
Well, we're only at.
I know,
Stop
but
rolling at
you-
advantage.
Right, but you would have gotten a 5.
Yeah, I would have.
So,
I can't even
so
give you
yeah,
assistance because I don't have proficiency in smithing.
this, like, whatever this thing is that you're trying to make, like, it looks janky. It does not look good, and probably not turning out how you envisioned it.
Does it look like I could fit a stick in it?
No. The metal has been spread out so thin that the edges of it are cracking and have separated, and overall it just looks like if you tried to do anything with this, it would shatter.
Okay, well then I'd mend it back to its like so it's not cracking anymore, and then forge it back to its original form, and then hand the man like how about so how long do you say it would take for me to mess up completely?
Like an hour.
I ask him how much for another hour.
And he says 15 gold.
I can pay that. 16.
This man?
He's unrelenting.
I am. I will make this firework launcher whether you guys want me to or
Also
not.
found
It'll be
another
fun.
hour that you just paid for. I have 2 more hours instead of 1 more.
He needs more.
So
Well, if he fucks up again,
yeah. If I fuck up again, I'll just not do it at all, but
you can literally just pay the blacksmith to do it for you.
Yeah.
true.
No.
But he won't. He
Probably
has to
cheaper.
do it. That's the point.
Yeah, that's sort of the point.
It's not the same.
Yeah, shit.
It's
I the forgot.
destination. It's the journey, not the destination.
So yeah, go ahead and use your smithing tools again.
This time
The
no
ice caps are
advantage.
melting.
Oh my
Again?
god, really?
What?
Another
That's 2
one.
nat ones.
Fucking hell.
That's 2 nat ones.
I
Rye
think
is
this is
not
a-
fucking with your shit.
This is a
homie.
message from the gods.
Right.
This is a message from the gods.
Rye is not on your side on this.
Try
That is
make anything else. You have another hour.
You feel like-
1 and 1. Holy
Make a
fuck.
gun.
You feel like the telekinetics slap on the back of your head. I don't know.
No.
Okay, well then, rather than make a gun, I'm going to make, or not a gun. Rather than make a tube, I'm going to use the rest of my iron to make a like sort of grappling hook type apparatus.
Okay.
You know, one of those.
So yeah, use your smithing tools again.
Okay, that's okay.
Wow.
It's better.
Not well, just a little bit.
You're going in the right direction.
So
Bryce, just like you're not making these stupid weapons of mass destruction.
This one's
and
not a
killing.
weapon.
So there have been like grappling hooks exist in this world, and comparing actual grappling hook with this, it doesn't resemble one whatsoever.
It's like a kid's drawing of a grappling
yeah,
hook.
it's like a Jack and Pollock.
It's a
of,
crowbar with a bit of rope around the end.
yeah, pretty much. Like it's not very like functional looking, and the steel has kind of begun to burn, and it looks like if you did try to like put any sort of weight onto this, like something would snap off.
I just asked the blacksmith, "Hey, can you just please sort of just
Come on,
fix
man."
this?"
And he takes it from you and looks at it, and he says, "I don't think I could do anything with this."
Fine. And I mend it so
Like,
that
look.
it's not cracking anymore, and then
He like hands it back to you and says, "The steel is burned on it. How do you burn steel?"
How do you burn steel? The blacksmith in all his time smithing has never seen this happen.
I
and he
even
managed
went
to
to
fuck up that
blacksmith
much.
school, and I'm still failing horribly.
Listen, it's been a bad day.
You gotta wait till you turn a little bit more back into a dwarf before you're allowed
I
to
mean,
do that.
you've got another 25 gold in your pocket.
True, but I don't want to keep like bothering Mike with the
Oh,
rolls.
just pour all your money into it, man. What's the problem?
Yeah, just make it out of solid gold.
I'm
Okay.
sure the blacksmith won't complain.
Yeah, just melt your gold coins into the barrel.
That's a
If you
horrible
fuck up, give
idea.
it to him.
How much time would you say I have left?
Probably no time after trying to make that.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Look, he looks at you like after this whole exchange and says, "Well, time's up. I gotta get back to work myself." So
Yeah, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
So, Moss watching this whole encounter is just watching him like... Yeah, Moss
was
knows
watching him.
exactly what he's trying to make. He went with him.
Oh,
Remember I
Sorry.
steered him away? Yeah.
so
That's
for
right, I set
reference,
this up.
Talia,
Sorry.
Durgat, and Tony are still at the tavern. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Drinking at 1 p.m.
Okay.
While we sit here, Moss sits here and watches him try to smith this for 4 hours. So Moss knows what the concept of what he's trying to make after seeing, messing with his tinkerer's tools and seeing what Hadra had been working on the ship. So realizing what he was making, he was making sure what was going on, and then everything that happened with his mom. He's sitting there and thinking and watching this happen, and is just kind of watching it and
Probably thinking, how did she choose him?
no, it's
Thinking, how the fuck do you
Ma.
burn steel?
Moss's eyes are like the entire time you're going, and as you start, his eyes, he goes quiet and he's standing in the corner just letting you work, do your thing, and his eyes are quiet and going very, very quickly. But then as you continually fucked up more and more and more, and just everything you did was stopping and not letting you progress on this thing that Moss could recognize you were making, his eyes just kind of slow down a little bit and start to process, and his posture gets a little more lax. And he's just kind of sitting, watching you, not as now processing, but feeling slightly better about the situation, seeing you not be able to handle your shit.
Speaking of which, I'm going to go find the nearest merchant and not like the nearest merchant and sell my copper ingots.
Okay.
You had one
I'll
go,
give you
you're like,
a
I'm giving
hint
up.
on how much they're worth.
No, it's
Um,
how much steel do you say I wasted?
Steel, I would say at least 3 ingots.
Okay, so I still have 1 ingot left. You say 1 ingot is around enough for a dagger? Or did
What's
you
that?
say 2 ingots? Did you say 1 ingot or 2 ingots was enough for a dagger? Because I don't know how big your ingots are.
I'll say like 1 is probably good for like a relatively decent dagger.
Okay, so
2 sticks and you got yourself a shovel.
I'm going to sell 2 iron and or no, not 2 iron, 2 copper, and then just keep the steel for myself to try and maybe forge that into something later, maybe to increase my skill, because I'm obviously not skilled enough to do what I'm currently doing.
Not with rolls like that.
Not with the rolls like that.
Okay, so back at the tavern. It's still relatively. Huh? What's that?
I was wondering, just before then, how much do I get from selling the copper?
For the copper, we'll say you get 150 gold.
Wait, what?
Damn.
What the hell?
It was a lot of copper.
Well, not only was it like a good amount of copper, but it was refined copper and ingots, which generally would fetch a higher price than just selling like the raw material.
Fair
Okay,
enough.
so technically, if I sold my copper coins,
Well, a copper
No.
coin is probably like around the size of like your index finger's nail.
if I melted all my copper coins together,
It would still
roll
probably
a
have
one.
impurities.
shit.
But so
There
Moss
goes my plan.
watches you. You'd like trade that and then get the money. You just pocket it.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
give like 10 gold to Moss, like, cheers for wasting your time watching me.
Moss nods his head. I hope the ones who helped you make those see some as well. And like, one eye zooms in very tightly.
Can you repeat that? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, there's a, I hope those who helped you get that copper receive some as well. And then one eye zooms in on you.
Yes, they
Yeah,
do.
totally period.
Insight check. Is he bullshitting?
I paid for it.
Yeah, roll an insight.
21. Do you plan to pay them?
I paid them already.
What?
Oh yeah, you gave me a dagger.
Yeah.
So no, you're not planning on paying them with that gold.
No, this copper was from the town.
The ingots?
Yeah, the ingots were from the town. The finger ingots were from the other 2 people. These are
I thought
the...
that's what you were selling.
The fingers.
No, I'm selling the ones I got at the that I bought at the town.
You can tell I
okay.
made them. They've got my signature fingerprint on them.
Yeah. I could just
thought
make a
those- I
hand.
thought those were the ones that you fucking made.
No, I believe I gave Durgat a dagger, and I don't know what I gave. I don't think I
You
gave
gave me
Tony
nothing,
anything.
but that's fine.
I gave
I
you
was
the
just being
satisfaction of
nice.
being
It
able
was-
to punch him out.
It was a gesture of goodwill, and I did like punching that mountain.
Nonetheless, Moss's comment stands, and he is inspecting you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right. So, was there anything else that you two were going to do?
Moss is going to look for a tailor
Okay.
without saying anything to anyone else.
I'm gonna
So
follow
if-
him.
If Hadrada goes back to whatever, but he's stays out after hanging out with Hadrada for a bit and looks for a tailor.
I'm gonna
Okay. So
actually
yeah,
follow
roll an
Moss.
investigation.
Not for any reason, just
11.
gonna follow him.
Um.
Can I give him an advantage on that? since
Yeah,
I'm
I would
helping him?
say
I
that
love
you.
success.
Yeah, I would say that you find maybe not so much a tailor, but somebody who has like pre-made clothes.
Can
already.
I actually give him advantage on that? Sorry, I was muted. I meant to say it before. But do you mind if I give him advantage on that because I know my way around the place?
Sure. Yeah.
19.
Okay.
19.
So yeah, you do find a tailor.
Oh yeah.
It is a very nice shop. You've left the struts, the like poverty-stricken part of town, and you've wandered into the nicer areas. The streets are actually very well maintained. It's like almost like cobbled brick road almost.
Are
Some
there
of the
any are there any green like bits sticking through the cobblestone?
there's like a fair number of like green areas in this city. There's like little outcroppings and decorative areas that are like kind of grassy and have like medium-sized trees in them.
Anytime I see a little bit of green, I'm crossing Durgat and making them grow just a little bit more.
Aw.
Okay, cool.
I've got to ask, is there one homeless person sat on a street corner wearing very fancy clothes?
Roll investigation, or well,
Well, I'm still in the
you're
bar.
not
I
there.
just wanted that for like.
I am.
Comedy.
This entire time we're out, Moss is still scanning around looking for suspicious motherfuckers. Even without the rest of the party there, he'd still be looking out.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and roll investigation again.
That'd be a perception because I'm looking for people. I'm not like looking for a specific thing. I'm like
Or
scanning
yeah,
around.
okay, yeah, that's
Yeah. 10. Nice rolls on the perception. That's a 2.
fine. Okay.
Nope, no one. We're all good, Drana.
Yeah,
Nice and safe.
yeah. Doesn't seem like anything's wrong.
Yeah.
Nobody's following you, so.
Continues to the tailor.
Okay, so yeah, you make it there. It's a very nice building. There are very clean glass windows on the storefront, and you can see like the wooden mannequins like inside of the windows with like the measuring tapes and different bits of clothing on them. And you walk inside, and it is a older human male. He's in a very nicely tailored like black vest and white shirt and nice trousers.
Moss opens the door. Walks in.
Okay. And he looks at you and says, "Oh yes, hello." And notices like what you look like, and he's like,
Oh yes, hello.
"Do you need clothing?"
Moss nods and looks at himself, basically fucking naked.
And
Got
he's
covered in nothing but plants and a satchel.
and he says, "Okay, well, I'm sure I could tailor you something. What is it that you're looking to get?"
Something to help me be less conspicuous.
And his eyebrow kind of raises as he looks at you and says, in a very kind of pompous way.
He looks down. Something plain or to draw attention away from, and then like gestures to his whole body.
Mhm.
Oh.
And he says, "Well, what are you looking to get? A full suit of clothing, or maybe just
Simple
a very
pants.
large cloak?"
Pants, shirt, cloak, something that can last, and preferably, if you could, with magic qualities. I can change, and if they are normal clothes, they could be destroyed. I'd like something that can last quite some time.
And he says, "Well, I can make the clothes, but I can't do the enchanting. The Mystic Fire enchantment shop, though, is not too far from here, and Yaramir does a very good job at enchanting pretty much anything people bring into him."
Hydrota says, "You'll love Yaramir."
Could I have the fabric enchanted beforehand, or is that something that must be done after?
And he says, "Well, I suppose it probably doesn't matter."
Moss nods. He's like, well then, I guess we must speak to him first.
He says, "I can take your measurements and start creating what it is that you want, though, in the meantime."
Moss bows his head. Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. And
Thank
he
you.
walks up with, like, the rope kind of tape measure and begins making measurements on your frame. And you just hear him like, "Whew, you're a big one, though, aren't you?" And
Moss
says-
just T-poses perfectly still.
and he says, and with no disrespect, of course, but I don't think I've ever tailored anyone as large as you. This should be an accomplishment on my part, I feel like. And continues taking measurements. And he says, okay, well, I have what I need here. And he kind of motions over to a wooden table in the corner of the shop and says, all my cloths are there. Feel free to pick whatever it is that you want. And he says, I have some leather right here, some regular cloth. He says some silks. So whichever you like. And they come in different colors.
Look for a not quite verdant, but like a brighter, slightly on the darker side green. Not quite like a foresty, but a little bit brighter than that. And then like just a nice dull brown, darker brown, probably for the pants. And then like just fucking like white silk, I guess. I don't know, white silk shirt for Moss. Fuck it.
Okay.
So the fabric. So hands him the green for a cloak, or the pants, or the shirt, and then each one, whatever. Yes.
Okay.
But if this gentleman, and then gestures out the door, like towards the enchanter, has a cloak or one of these that I can wear already, I may only need one, but I will need 2 of the 3. We will see.
And he says, okay, yes, fine. I can begin working on a few elements of it until you come back and confirm.
Moss bows his head. We will return soon.
Okay.
And
And
then
he
goes
begins
and
just
tries to
kind
find the
of like taking some of the fabrics that you found and laying them out and unfolding them and getting out scissors and his sewing kits and stuff.
enchanter. Then leaves and goes to try and locate this enchanter man.
Okay. Is Hadrada still there?
I'm gonna show him the way, I guess.
Okay. So you head up the street from the tailor and you find a singular building. You know how I told you there were like elements of green within the city? This is one of those places. Like it goes from the cobblestone and it's surrounded by like a little wooden fence. But the plot of land that the small shop is sitting on, there's green grass on the outside and like kind of medium-sized pine trees behind it, and it looks very surreal in the surroundings of the city.
And Moss just kind of like takes a minute in that like front area, just like walking up to the plants, touching them, making sure everyone looks all right, making sure they're all taken care of.
And
They're all taken care of.
and you notice that the building itself is a little more than like house sized, but it has the very like tall exaggerated peaks on the roof and like the kind of long curled overhangs. It's a very like grim fairy tale looking sort of house. And or shop, I should say.
Moss just walks right in.
Okay. So approaching it, you notice that the windows are almost like a mosaic, and there are dancing flames within the windows.
Like they're moving?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Like the windows have been enchanted. And you walk in, and it is a very, very quaint, humble shop. It's not a large one. But you walk in, and there is a countertop directly in front of you. And behind in the area, there are a couple gnomish men kind of working on different things. And beyond that is a door with like a black curtain hung over it. And the dwarfs kind of or the gnomes look over at you and say, "Oh, a patron. What is it that you need, sir?"
Moss
And
just kind of stands there.
They kind of look at you and they're like, "Huh, I've never seen one like you before."
Moss nods. He goes, "Yes, that is actually why I'm here. I was hoping for something to make me less," and then like looks down, "noticeable. I draw lots of attention, and I'd rather not."
And they say, "Oh, yes, I can definitely understand that," and kind of look at themselves. And they say, "Something like that, though, we'll have to get the boss for you, and you can talk to him. Hey, boss!" And you hear come from the curtain behind the countertop. You hear, yes, yes, yes. 1 second, 1 second. And out from behind the curtain comes a purplish violet tiefling, dressed in very nice robes with like gold and silver adornments on his horns and earrings and piercings.
Isn't he dreamy?
He looks very like swashbucklery with like the white like poofy colored shirt kind of pulled open a little bit. and he walks out and says, hello there.
Also, literally
I
doesn't
wonder
react
what
in
I
any
can
way.
get for you. As he kind of like takes you in and looks up and down, says, never seen something like you before.
So, like Moss's head is just like body unmoving, but head perfectly tracking his movement. And
I say to Uramir, hello, this is my friend Moss. We were wondering if we could get something to make him less conspicuous. I know Moss can talk for himself, but Uramir does probably
Moss
know me.
pats Hadrada on the shoulder as he's like, "Oh, well, I know you can." It's fine.
Well, at this point too, Yermir does not recognize you.
Yeah,
either.
I was about
sure.
to say the same fucking thing. Like,
Yeah.
Hadrada looks like
He's a
shit.
fucking
Like, not like
Osaki
shit, but like
type.
shit.
Look at his fucking dusty ass, bro. Fucking torn ass, Jordan. Look
Yeah,
at
he
his
looks like
motherfucker.
fucking shit. That's
So
the
you
look at
fucking
this
nothing kind to you.
because I'm out.
Look at the top of his head.
But basically,
Yeah, no, you look haggard compared to like when he saw you, but he doesn't even recognize you.
And
Some
I mean,
may
the
even
vo-
say you
I
look like
say-
shit.
Does the voice shake anything loose for the homie?
yeah, I was going to say, one, like I was going to say, like, can I say to him, speaking of which, or like, I am Hardrada, by the way.
Moss kind of elbows you. He's like, you could make yourself look as you used to.
Oh yes, and then I
he
use
looks at-
disguise self to make myself look normal again.
Okay. Yeah, and as you do that and say that, he says, Hadrada, you came in with all your friends, that adventuring party, and that paladin, Tony, right?
Yes.
He says, Jesus, mate, you look like shit. What happened?
Who's Jesus?
Well, why did he point out at the mention of Tony, Moss's eyes would kind of zoom in just a little bit. Can I get a read on why he specifically singled out Tony?
I think
Said,
we all know
the
why
whole
singled out
party.
Tony.
And Tony.
Roll a perception check.
16. Can't roll higher than a fucking 10 today, apparently.
Me neither.
As he says Tony, you see him like kind of like very subtly like kind of bite his lip a little bit.
Oh.
Damn!
Tony's just drinking in a bar. I don't know what you're talking about.
So Moss just kind of like one eye zooms in, all the other still focusing.
And as Hadrada like turns into his former self.
Formal self.
Hadrada doesn't have a formal self.
Hey, I have that dress.
That is true. That would be considered formal wear. But yeah, so Uramir like looks at Moss and says, so I take it you're not a fan of walking around naked, right?
Moss
As he like
shrugs.
looks you up and down.
It is
said-
more of naked is relative. For me, and he kind of like brushes off the moss on his body. This is my clothes, but it seems that is not normal.
And like as you brush off some of the moss, Uramir kind of like goes to like catch it, and he's like, whoa, easy, big guy. No need to make a mess.
Just
And
little
he kinda-
flakes.
And he kind of like looks at the dwarf and says, go ahead and sweep that up for me, please.
Talking
clear
Hadrada,
it up.
of course.
Or the gnome.
Moss
Looks
takes
like
his.
shit.
Moss turns on his control flames, just kind of burns them up, and it doesn't burn the wood because it's magical fire, and I get to pick what it burns.
Oh, nice.
He just
And-
kind of burns it up. My apologies, but as you can see, that is part of the problem. Ideally, it'd be something similar to what, and gestures to Hydrata, he does here. That would solve most of my problems. Or something simpler, just to draw attention away from this, and gestures to himself.
And he says, you see him kind of think for a second, like, about his inventory, and kind of puts his finger up and says, I think I have just the thing for you. And he goes and starts to rummage around in the back and comes out with, like, a normal human-sized cloak. And he's like, I think this will do. And kind of looks at you and looks at the cloak and says, oh, wait, that won't do. And he kind of walks behind you and puts the hood of the cloak over what will fit over your head. And as he does, the cloak grows and basically is like a normal sized looking cloak for you, like normally proportioned for your frame.
Magic cloaks. Hell yeah. So quick little detect magic. What kind of ish am I getting off this thing?
I would say transmutation, probably.
Transmutation. Okay. So Moss just goes looks at it, is like, and what does it do?
And he says, well, you've seen that it grows to the size of its wearer. Is that not enough?
Moss just kind of shakes his head. It can, but most magic wear, and then goes to his bracers that are on his wrist. It's like, can adjust to size. I was hoping for something that maybe would allow me to, and then looks at him, and then thinks less of physical disguise, more of
And he says,
not long term, but
you want something illusionary.
Moss bows his head softly.
And he says, well, I can do that. And he looks at the cloak that he gave you and says, I could even use this as a base, just so it keeps the size-changing property as well.
Moss nods. It's like, that would be perfect. What's the cloak look like? Is it just black? What is it?
No, it's dark green.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Shit.
I mean, not super dark green.
Yeah, no. Trust. I got it. I'm speaking my language. Moss nods and is like, and how much would you need? And just reaches into his sack and pulls out a handful of gold.
And he says, well, seeing as you're traveling with my favorite customers, I feel obligated to keep them safe. He says, for all of this, I'll do it for 125 gold.
And I say to Uramir as well. Oh, speaking of gold, we actually got those black pearls for you. Tony has them.
And
wait,
he,
we have the black
his
pearls,
hands
right?
Together. Huh?
We have the black pearls, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Tony had clams that he was harvesting.
As far as you know.
Yeah.
Hydrata knows.
And he claps his hands together and says, success. I knew you guys would come back with something for me. And he tells you, well, whenever you see Tony, tell him to stop by my shop. And he can give me the pearls and we can catch up for a bit. It's been ages since I've seen
I
him.
can give him the pearls, all right.
The pearl necklace.
And then Mr. Hydrata is at this going to ask how long do you expect this to take?
And he says, oh, well, this is a rather simple enchantment. I would say no more than a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts looking around on some of the shelves. He's like, and I believe I have all the things I need for it too, so.
Do you mind teaching me a little bit about magical tinkering while you're at it? I would be willing to pay.
And he says, yes, probably at some point I'd be able to help you out.
Mm-hmm.
Says at the moment, though, I'm elbow deep in work, so.
I see.
We've been getting a lot of orders coming in, so.
I take it that's what the manpower's for.
And he says, "Ah, yes, I hired them, maybe a month ago or so. Hard workers, a little insubordinate at times, but I just pay them with alcohol as well, and it seems to sort itself out."
I see. Well, I'll go tell Tony to give you the things, and
And they will.
and
I
I
can't help.
and I head out of the shop. I say, I'm assuming you can finish up here, Moss. To Moss.
Moss nods.
And I head out of the shop towards the tavern.
Okay.
Moss bows to the shopkeeper and just goes, I will return in a few hours.
Okay. Yeah, and you do. And he says, "Oh, don't worry, I'll be here." We
Moss bows very deeply. And then turns and leaves.
Okay. Yeah,
It goes
and
back
he,
to the tailor and it's just like, hey, no cloak. Thanks. Bye.
Okay.
And returns to the tavern, I guess.
Okay. So, back at the tavern, while they're traveling back to it.
Finishing my own.
Yeah, so you see that like a few more people come in, like a few different little groups of people, and go to the tavern keeper and order drinks and go find a table and sit down and begin talking among themselves. It seems like there's more ships that have come in since you've arrived, and more travelers coming for their first drink in a while. Their first proper drink, rather.
Any interesting travelers?
Yes, roll a perception check for that.
A perception check. Persuasion 18.
Persuasion.
Ooh.
Nice. Nice.
Tony, yeah, you notice that there are a few different people around the bar that look like they might have a story or two to tell. There's like kind of an older looking grizzled human. He looks like maybe an army veteran of some type. He looks very battle worn. You notice there is a short dwarven looking man with like a red beard and a black cloak sitting in one of the corners of the tavern by himself. And there's also a female tiefling who seems to be a bard of some type and is setting up some musical instruments.
Yes, competition.
Catalia goes over to the tiefling bard.
Tony hasn't put him out yet.
What's
Yeah,
that?
that's right. Can you please
Tony's gonna be like, as he's like noticing everyone, he's gonna be like chatting about him to the group. So you'll notice. But Tony would like to go speak to the dwarf in a moment.
Good.
He seems like an interesting character.
Paula, no, that she sees. No, goes over to the tiefling bard and like taps her on the shoulder and is like, "Excuse me."
And she turns around and looks at you and says, "Oh yes, hello."
Hi, are you? And she like gestures to the musical instruments she's putting on. You're a bard too.
And
Musician?
she kind of gives that like that oh gosh like kind of look, like down at the floor with like her head cocked, like, well, I'm just starting out. I'm not really that great, but
Oh, I'm
yeah.
sure you're great. Maybe we could play something together. I'm a bard as well.
And she says, "Oh, that would be amazing. I don't know if I could keep up with you though."
I'm sure you can. I'm sure you're amazing.
This bitch is gonna shred. I can't wait.
The only thing set up is a drum kit.
I'm just really excited to play with someone.
feel.
Yes.
Did we mention this bard is a gorilla?
It's always the musicians that are like, oh no, I don't know, it's gonna suck. That are nuts.
Control
And-
myself.
And she says, "Yes, that'd be lovely though if you wanted to play. Perhaps I could share some of my tips with you or something.
Oh yeah,
I do
we
this."
can.
She says, "I do this more as just to supplement my income. I don't work as
Oh, but
often as I used to, so it's
I
just a way to
mean,
help out."
I am also just traveling with some friends. I don't get to play with others as much as I used to anymore, so I'm just really excited to play with someone else.
And she says, "Me too. I should be finished setting up here in a couple of minutes."
It's like, okay, then. I'm really excited.
It's where she starts bringing out the kit and the frame and starts screwing in all the drums.
And
Using a
yeah,
pair of wands as drumstick.
yeah, it's like your typical like band setup kind of thing. Set up the instruments and go grab a quick drink real quick, and then go back and set up everything else.
Oh no, dude! Musicians take an hour when they say they're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, it's hell. It's hell
Yeah,
trying
it's-
to get a musician to play. Yeah, hold on, it'll be just 5 minutes. I promise, just 5 minutes, and then they disappear for 30 goddamn minutes backstage. Sorry, flashbacks. I'm good.
And Tony, before
Yeah.
that goes, you wanted to talk to the dwarf.
Yeah, I want to talk to this dwarf. She's like an interesting character.
I also want to talk to the dwarf
Wanna come with?
because I'm lonely. You all just left me at the table.
Come on, let's get talk to the dwarf then.
And
Okay.
Talis is busy with with her bard friend.
Okay.
I feel like with bards, it's like if they see each other, the moment their eyes connect, they either hate each other or they become best friends for life.
Yeah, Talia is this kind of bard who would never hate another bard. She's like
You say
like
that now.
You-
sorry, like a bar, like not like a bar, like
Oh god. So
like a
drunk.
dog.
we
who's
need
like,
some more
So
alcohol.
drunk.
she sees I'm so sorry. I'm not doing this.
I'm
on
just
purpose.
giving you
He's
shit. I'm
doing
sorry. Don't
to
take it
himself.
personally.
Don't feel sorry.
Exactly.
like-
This is your own fault. You
It makes
so
it better.
Talia's-
It only makes this better. Please continue.
so
Kinda like
Talia's,
whenever,
exactly
Talia-
like a dog who when she sees another bard, it's like, that's a bard. I'm a bard. Bard. It's exactly like that.
Bard.
Exactly. She's like,
Yeah, it's kind of like whenever you met your hero, and then when Dixie seduced her.
Jesus Christ, holy shit! Don't remind me.
Every time Talia
Okay.
sees a bard, it's just the Kill Bill sound.
Okay, so yeah, Tony and Durgat approach the dwarf. Go ahead and go
We do?
to one-on-one.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Shall I come too and then just take off my
Yes.
headphones?
Yes.
Alrighty.
Huh?
See you, nerds.
Okay, 1 second. Let me mute myself.
Alright.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you
Nah,
walk.
hold on. There we go.
The fuck was that? Okay.
Okay, so you walk up to the dwarf, who is solitary and sitting in the corner of the tavern, and you see him just kind of looking into his drink and taking the occasional sip.
Walk over and introduce yourself and say hello.
And he kind of looks up at you and says, "Oh, hello, hi there."
Hi. Kinda came up with this without a plan. That's upsetting. Hi, do you mind if we talk for a minute?
And he looks around and says, "Sure, I suppose so." And kind of sits up in his seat a little bit and looks at you and says, "So, just coming into Wintervale, are you?"
Yeah, actually. Just got here. I was hoping you could maybe, like, I don't know, show us around the area, something like that.
And he says, "Oh, well."
Maybe
I'm
just around this, like, rougher part of town. It seems pretty dangerous.
He says, "Well, I'm far from a tour guide, my friend."
Hmm. Oh, you got a fair point. That is a lot to ask from a stranger.
And he says, what is it exactly you're looking for? Maybe I could tell you where to find it.
Fuck. Hold on. Let me. I need to go grab my spell list just to reread. Cool. Ooh. Can I persuade him to join us? Is there like a bathroom in this?
Yeah, that's. I mean, I would consider it more of like
Bar?
a closet with a bucket.
A closet with a bucket is fine. I just need somewhere that no one can see us.
Okay.
Well, that doesn't look weird at all.
So yeah, roll persuasion, I guess.
Can I'm assisting. Should
Okay.
I roll?
I'm pretty good at persuasion,
Okay, well, in that case.
but
I'm not.
I'd like to persuade it with the caveat of I've got like some shady backroom dealings you might be interested in.
Okay. 22. Okay. He says, well, if you have any tips on work or gold, I'm all for hearing that. Let's
Wow.
Let's go see what we can hash out.
How do I perform the thing? Like, what goes into it?
Okay, so essentially you have to convince them to willingly hold the stone.
Cool. And then that's...
And then you use the spell that I sent the two of you in
Right.
Discord.
Yes.
And you fully control it, so you can like make your soul go into him. You know,
Right.
It won't be like random, or it won't be like.
Okay, as he's like walking ahead, like turn and say to Durgat, right, one of us is getting out now.
Thank God.
When the other one gets back on this side in their body, you need to convince them of something terrible and you've just saved them or something, right? Who's swapping? Should we swap you out? Because I feel like I have a better grasp on this plan.
Yeah, please. This body doesn't have an ounce of magical talent in it.
Cool. Fantastic. I'll begrudgingly continue. And
Okay.
we walk in.
Okay.
And I pull the stone out of my bag.
Mm-hmm.
And say to him, this is the new stuff, like tapping my nose, that just came in from port today, and I hand it to him.
And he kind of looks at you and takes it from you and holds it and says, "Oh, this is a soul gem."
I cast it.
And then like snaps up at you
Shabam.
as soon as that like hits his face. Like, wait, a soul gem, and looks up at you, and it's too late. You've already cast the spell, and you see like a ghostly outline of himself being like sucked out of his body and getting sucked into the stone, just like
Right.
a white streak into
So,
the stone.
because I can control it, can I now put the inhabitant of Durgat's body into the soul gem and swap that out with Durgat?
Yes.
Cool. I don't want to like that. I'll do that, and I'll persuade Durgat. Some weird shit just went down.
Okay, cool. So essentially, you're having Durgat come from the soul gem into their body.
Yes.
Right. Okay, cool. So yeah, you perform the ritual, and you see the gem light up, and a white flash of light, and Durgat's body that had fallen to the ground. Or actually, no, because they're still inhabiting their body, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Durgat is currently being inhabited by body snatcher necromancer. They're
Yeah.
going into the stone. Durgat's coming out the stone. They're coming out the stone into the other guy's body. The other guy stays in the stone.
Okay, got it. All right, so yeah, you do that. The soul that is in Durgat's body goes to the other body, and you command Durgat to come out of the stone, re-inhabiting their body. And the lifeless body like takes a breath, and Durgat kind of like snaps to and starts looking around confused.
Where the fuck are Tony?
Are you okay? You just
Who's-
had like a moment there. You almost passed out.
Well,
You alright?
What happened?
I don't know. You went all like limp for a minute. Me and this guy, we just found each other in the bar. We were just talking about some magic. You wanted to come along? You felt lonely, sat on your own, and you you almost just collapsed.
Roll
That's-
a persuasion check, Tony. Or not Tony. Oh yeah, Durgat totally believes you.
Yeah, even if I rolled net 20, it wouldn't be over 24.
Their head is just so cloudy and jumbled and, blank parts of
Yeah.
their memory missing. They just,
What's the last
okay.
thing I can remember?
I would say the last thing you remember is opening the chest in Fairstorm Keep and being engulfed in a white flash.
Okay. Hey,
So, are
Tony,
you okay? Did you just have like a fever dream or something?
I think so. Like, I opened the chest and then some.
You've been acting a little weird recently.
Have I? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I mean, are you back to alright?
I don't know.
And
did I have a fever?
I don't know.
Where are we? How long has it been?
We're in
happened?
Wintervale.
How did I miss that?
We came on a boat and everything. Look, go right.
Huh?
Go get a water from the bar. Have a sit down. Take a breather.
Yeah, I'll probably
Okay.
do that.
And the dwarven body begins to kind of come to as well. The eyes like snap open and they start like, engulfing air and breathing and kind of sit up and just start like looking around and looking at their hands.
Hey, sir, are you okay? I looked at the dwarf.
Yeah, I looked at him as well and said, "You fine? You look like you just saw a ghost."
And he says, "Oh, well, I must have had too much to drink at the tavern."
Mhm.
That's-
We were just talking about Bokob and how great he is. You go get a water, and I'll finish up and keep you company. Make sure you're not sick or anything.
Yeah, thanks. I kind of feel like
Okay.
I'm hungover. That never happens. Well, one time, but we don't talk about
Mhm.
that.
I'll talk about it. Go, have a sit down. You'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. I leave the room. Should I go into the outside now, or are you guys doing that too?
What's that?
I'm leaving the back room, bathroom. Should I go to the other voice chat now, or like the other guys following?
I would say stay here until
Okay.
like everything plays out and the two of you can go back at the
Okay.
same time.
To be clear though, Durgat is leaving now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Durgat is no longer okay.
Durgat is
Then I
like
say
out the
to
door and kind of leaning against the building, kind of holding their head like, oh man. Ugh.
and then I hold my hand out to the now dwarf and say, "The gem. I'm gonna need it to get out of this meat bag."
Okay. And you hand it to them, and
No,
just
he
say-
hands it to me, surely.
Oh, okay. So yeah, then
He's
you
holding
take
it.
it. Right.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get your body back now, right?
That's the plan.
Okay. So he would have to be holding it to do it to you.
No. I can't also inhabit that body, can I? I
Oh.
could put myself in the gem, and then have him go find the other necromancer, right? As a local. And then he could
Yeah,
swap that out. Yeah, that's fine. I'll do that.
yeah, that's true. Okay. So you're giving it to him and telling him to
Yeah,
go find the other necromancer?
Yeah, but I'd need to put my own soul in the gem first, wouldn't I?
Yes.
So I'm gonna say to him, when this guy comes out, you're gonna have to think of a great reason why he's here.
And he says, okay,
Be
yeah,
prepared.
I
You
think
ready?
I could
You've got this handled.
probably do that. Okay, yeah.
You're the
yeah.
smartest guy I know. Come on.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Cool. Hit me. I take the gem.
Okay. And the spell happens again, and your soul goes into the gem, and you almost like pass by Tony as the two of you like, go by each other, his soul out and your soul in, and you just see like the helmet kind of cock and look over at you as you like go by, and it follows you for a second, and then boom.
Could Tony see out of the gem this whole time?
Yeah. I mean, you could see out of the gem.
I would like to roll an attack, please.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I hope I don't regret this so much. Oh, right. How much do I know about them as Tony? You're about to find out. You're about to hear a very loud bang.
Yeah, like not a whole lot. Besides like the little prodding around you did to kind of find out.
Do I know they're a lot stronger than I am?
Probably, given the body, yeah.
Okay, then I'm not gonna straight up punch them. Oh, thank you. Almost killed myself.
And plus, I would say that neither of you are like material at that point either.
Right. But I have been able to see outside the gym.
Yeah.
Do I come out in the same kind of groggy, semi-sentient state though?
Yeah, you
so
do.
I won't realize straight away.
Yeah, it's almost like coming out of it, you can't tell if like what happened was a dream or if you were imagining it, or the last thing that you remember is staring at the gym and the keep, and then a white flash of light.
Cool.
That's
Okay, in that case, I'll come to and stand up and be like, oh, what? Where? Who? Hello?
And the dwarf is looking at you and says, "Oh, wow, you just like came in through the door and like fell down, and I think you might have hit your head on the corner of the table. Are you okay?"
I'm sorry. Are you like? I'm sorry. Are you having like a personal moment in here? Do I need to leave? Are you doing? I'm sorry to like barge in on you like this. I didn't know anyone was in here.
And he's like kind of holding his trousers that are like, about to be like pulled down, and like, almost like, "Oh yeah, I was just about to get started."
I'll leave. I'm sorry. Oh God, I must have. And I leave, and I look over at the bar. What do I see?
At the bar, you see, all your friends.
Probably
you see
Durgat drinking some water.
Yeah, you see Durgat like drinking
sit down
some water.
by Durgat, then.
And
I assume we go back now.
Yeah, and you see your friends that are at a separate table.
Yeah. Okay.
But okay, cool. So yeah, we'll go back to general.
I'll get Karin. Karin, we're done.
Hi.
Hello.
Break now?
Yeah. So the rest of you see Tony and Durgat like come back from a different area in the bar, and Durgat immediately go to the bar and start drinking some water, and Tony kind of walking over next to them and also ordering a round of water, and you see them like kind of holding their heads a little bit.
Did we come back during that time?
And yeah, we'll go ahead and take a break there.
Cool. Thank you so much.